What's cracking with your people? Welcome back to the channel. As you now know, I am Anansi, and today we're going to kick off a new name with a revitalization of an old franchise, at least for the time period anyway. Welcome to Sonic Adventure 2 Battle for the Xbox Live Arcade. So I have a lot of history with Sonic Adventure 2. It's one of my childhood favorites, and it was the very first game I ever pre-ordered. I still remember going up to Toys R Us with my mom to pick this game up the day it came out. That being said, without further ado, let's jump right into it and experience the story and my memories as we go through.
Sigma Alpha 2 heading due south over the city. We're en route. Everything's a go.
This is Control Tower. We have you on radar. Report cargo status of captured Hedgehog aboard. Over.
That's a 10-4. Cargo's secured on board and... What?
Didn't copy that.
Hedgehog is
Over.
gone. He's taken out everyone aboard and...
What's wrong?
What in the
Come
world?
in. Over.
Freeze! What do you think you're doing? Get that Hedgehog!
About low budget flights, no food or movies. I'm out of here. I like running better. Yeah!
Stage 1. City Escape. Escape from the military pursuit. This is by far, barring me messing up right there, this is by far one of the best openings to a game I've ever played. Between the music of City Escape and just essentially skateboarding, well, surfboarding down the San Francisco, well, I guess whatever it is supposed to be, San Francisco road on a piece of a military jet you just escaped from. I don't know why, it just, when this first came out, it was like this set the tone for the entire game for me, and I was hooked the moment I got it. I remember I would just play this level. I put the game up just to play this level to hear this music every single time. I would go for a little bit and I stopped, but yeah, I really like it. So, bit of trivia here. A, I love the freaking posters they have for like the mock movies in this game. And B, in that opening cutscene where we see Sonic escaping from the plane, you may have noticed that he's wearing a different type of shoe in this game. They're actually based on an actual brand, which I believe is now defunct. I don't remember. Feel free to correct me in the comments down below. But I remember, Chaos Cola. I remember when I'm looking at some of the old footage back on the old Dreamcast when this game first aired, which, yes, this game used to be a Dreamcast game. And I remember looking at the footage, and if you look at that, if you pay very close attention to that screen, you'll notice that in the old footage, Sonic is wearing his classic shoes. And it's only for a split second, actually. When you see him, like, in the scene where he's ripping the piece off the wing, you see him back in his shoes. But before that, he's wearing the soap shoes, and after, when the game starts proper, he's wearing the soap shoes. Also, there's a reference to an old Sega franchise called Knights. Haven't seen him in a while. Hopefully he gets a return to form one day. But, yeah, they forgot to edit that model. I don't know why it's just that model in specific, but they forgot to give that model the soap shoes. But yeah, they had the soap shoes as a promotional deal. I guess Soap wanted to get their name in Sonic. This was back when Sonic was still a big freaking deal, which I suppose younger viewers won't know what that's like. Also, Mr. Checkpoint, but that's fine. We're gonna run with it. Literally. But yeah, they gave him the soap shoes, and I believe the soap shoes themselves were the inspiration behind the rail grinding mechanic in this game. Which, as you can see, we're back from Adventure 1 style gameplay, momentum-based gameplay. Pay close attention to the right here. You'll see Bait the cat running down the road. There he is, running like a bad man. But yeah, we got the momentum-based gameplay, and this is I believe the last time that they used the gameplay in the series.
Yes!
And they got the rail grinding mechanic, which we will explain more later. Let's explain real quick right now. You balance yourself with the analog stick, and as you keep balance and use the crouch button, you gain speed on the rail. It's a skill-based rail system, which they dropped in later games.
This game of tag is boring. I'm out of here. Finally decided to show up, eh? Okay, bring it on!
Photographer Bigfoot reporting to headquarters. Intruder has been located.
Copy that.
And here's our first boss of the game. An actual human opponent that isn't Eggman. How strange. So now at this point in the game you're left wondering, why is the military after Sonic? What is with all these robots coming after him? And why is it so like high tech and stuff? Like if you look in the bottom corner where like when they do the introduction, you can see the actual like details of the machine laid out, like its firing capabilities, what it has for weapons and armament, all the good stuff. And one of the small details that I really do like about this game that is just not mentioned. Also, you pay attention to the background. There is a poster for a game called Phantasy Star Online. Well, that was an actual game on the Dreamcast. It was actually, I believe, one of the first console MMOs.
What?
It all starts with this. A jewel containing the ultimate power.
That's the Chaos Emerald! Now I know what's going on! The military has mistaken me for the likes of you! So, where do you think you're going with that emerald? Say something, you fake hedgehog!
Chaos Control!
Not his speed, he must be using the Chaos Emerald to warp.
Shadow, I'm the world's ultimate life form. There's no time for games. Farewell!
Good! Shadow, what is it?
Oh, stay where you are! Keep your hands up!
Not again.
Just let it go! You just don't know when to give up, do you?
What are you talking about? That emerald's mine. You got that? The Master Emerald contains special powers that neutralize the energy of the Chaos Emerald. That makes it very powerful.
What the? What? Thief!
Look who's calling who a thief. I came here following the signal from the Emerald. If I'm not mistaken, this is the Master Emerald, is it not? Dr. Eggman.
So that's Dr. Eggman.
Well, I decided something. I'll just take it with me. Farewell, knucklehead. Not if I can help it.
What was that all about? And look what you did to my emerald!
I did that to prevent the Master Emerald from being stolen, you idiot. If it's in pieces, I can restore it. And by the way, that's not your emerald. Doesn't matter. I'll look into it once I get back to the base.
I despise anyone who takes jewels from me. All the world's gems are mine to keep.
Yeah, we'll see about that, Batgirl.
Stage 2, Wild Canyon. Find 3 pieces of the Master Emerald. As you can see in this game, not only are we back to the adventure style momentum-based combat, we now have a bit of a mystery going on. Who are these 2 new characters? This Shadow and this Batgirl. What's going on in the story? What's going on with the story? Why is Sonic under arrest? And why do people mistake the color blue for the color black? I've heard of prejudice, but I mean, really? And I get that it's like, oh, we don't see a lot of we see a lot of speedy hedgehogs around here, so obviously it must be Sonic, but one's very clearly black. I'm just saying here. Now, going off from there, as you can see right now, we're back inside the Knuckles gameplay from Adventure 1. However, there is one key problem with this gameplay. While I don't mind the gameplay, I find it very fun. As you can see, I am next to a piece of the Master Emerald. It's in the air right there. But as you may have noticed, the radar is not going off. That's because in this game, for some reason, they turned off the ability to find any emerald piece in any order. Instead, they want you to find it in a specific order that they prefer you find it in. So when you find one piece of the emerald, you then unlock access to the other piece. You get graded based on how fast you find them. As you saw, when I found 2 pieces, I got that thing in the top left corner that said perfect. How that works is that if you don't use a hint system, which is the monitor behind Knuckles right now, to find an emerald piece, and the fact you find it, the more points you get. You use a hint, take too long, you lose points, and you lose like a stylish rank. I'll explain more as we get further into the gameplay.
There's no mistake about it. This must be the island. It's a secret military base that is reinforced and super strong. It's called Prison Island. I heard the news about it on satellite TV. I still can't believe that Sonic will destroy the military building or rob the bank. Wait for me, okay, Sonic? I'm on my way. What? Hey, look, it's Amy! And Eggman, too! What's Amy doing here? Doesn't matter. I have to help Amy because she's in danger. Tornado transformation!
Dr. Eggman. And now we get introduced to another form of gameplay, the mech combat stages. These I have a lot more to say about when we get to them proper, but it's kind of odd they would introduce this form of combat in the form of a boss fight. Also, if you go back to the to that cutscene earlier, if you look closely on the tornado, you'll note that there is a small bit of cursive on the side that says Tornado 3. This is not the same tornado from Adventure 1. It's a new one that he made. Go figure.
This time I'll let you go, but the next time we meet, you won't be so lucky.
Wow, Tails! You did it! But what are you doing here on this island?
I'm the one who should be asking that question. Don't you know it's dangerous here?
I know, but I'm here to save my hero, Sonic!
Again?
Hurry! I know Eggman's up to no good again!
Okay, you stay here and I'll be right back.
Don't leave without me! I want to help Sonic too!
Stage 3, Prison Lane. Find the core of the prison. Now, to explain the mech gameplay proper. You remember the Gamma gameplay from Adventure 1? Imagine that, but with a less floaty jump, less of an emphasis on combat in terms of a time progressing, because if you remember in Adventure 1, the Gamma gameplay, the reason why you were trying to destroy so many enemies, more so than any traditional Sonic gameplay, was so that way you could keep your time multiplier up and not fail the mission. In this one, you don't have to worry about a time multiplier for the basic missions, but you want to do what Gamma did in the game and string combos of enemies together to get a bigger point bonus. The more points you rack up, the better your rank. So gameplay completion, when it comes down to the speed, treasure hunting, and mech stages, which these are the only 3 gameplay styles in the entire game, boils down to points, time, and deaths. When it comes down to the speed gameplay, how fast you clear the level, how many points you do, which comes in the form of doing tricks off of jumps. That's why there were jumps in City Escape. And how many rings you get, as well as how few deaths you have, will contribute to it. The fewer deaths you have, ergo no deaths, you get an A rank. The more points you get, well, you don't get an A rank automatically, but it contributes to an A rank. The more points you get throughout the level doing tricks and speed and collecting rings will help contribute to that. In the next stages, how many enemy strands you can string together in one combo will determine how many points you get, and those points will in turn help you get to a higher rank. Combined with the time it takes you to complete each level, which isn't as big an emphasis, but still is something you need to keep in mind. And the fewer deaths you have, the better your rank. When it comes down to the treasure hunting gameplay, the less help you need to find the treasures you need, and the quicker you find each individual piece, the better your score. Combined to a total completion time, you will get a perfect or an A rank if you get enough perfects. Ideally, you want to try to string together. Excuse me. Ideally, what you want to do is you want to. Oh, that was close. I think I almost screwed myself there. And those golden beetles are your golden snitches. You destroy them, you get an extra bit of points, but they are quick and not very easy to shoot. So, well, to destroy. You really only ever get them, in my experience, doing the speed stages, because they usually put them in like a shortcut strain, like a strain of shortcuts over an enemy pit that you absolutely have to hit in order to make the shortcut. But yeah, with the treasure hunting stages, you want to try to find each piece of the Emerald Shard, or whatever it is you're finding. You want to find it using very few hints, so pretty much no hints at all. And you want to take no more than 2 to 3 minutes to find each individual piece, depending on the stage. Some stages get egregious later on, and we'll get to those when we get to those. And that's how you get ranks. And due to the fact that this is the first game to introduce also you look in the back corner here, you find that guy there. Due to the fact that this is the first game to introduce the ranking system, they went all in to make sure it was as detailed and as specific as they could, to the point where getting an A rank at some of these stages is borderline ridiculous. Actually, the next stage we're about to play, I'll exemplify to you how egregious it can get. Because it is ridiculous.
Huh? Amy?
Keep your voice down. Have no fear. Amy Rose is here.
How'd you get here?
Well, if you gotta know, I caught a ride with Tails. Are you sure you don't need my help? It looks like you could use it.
The reason I'm in here is because of that fake hedgehog.
You mean that black hedgehog?
Did you see it? Where is it now?
If I tell ya, will you marry me?
No way!
I thought I had you this time. That black hedgehog came here with Dr. Eggman.
So, Eggman's behind this, huh?
What's all that writing on the wall anyway? Did you write that? Wait for me, Sonic! He's such a brat sometimes.
Stage 4, Middle Harbor. I freaking love the stage music for this level. Like, pretty much all the speed levels have such good music. It is Mulligan. Pretty much all, like, I love this. I love the music for this level because the music in all the speed levels are so good that it just, I don't know, it gives you that feeling that you really just want to go fast because that's how you do it. There's no other way to play this level, you know, to play the levels. And it's, I don't know, I just freaking love it. For a second level, it is boom, baby. Like I said, you want to get the golden beetles, you have to get them in a chain. As you can see, back from Adventure 1 is finding the upgrades to character upgrades. And this is one of the better this is the what I'm trying to say. This is the Lightspeed Dash from Adventure 1. And in this game, it's gotten a much needed upgrade. And instead of having to charge the move up, you now approach the trailer rings, you hit the B button, and you just go. It is such an improvement that they've kept it like that pretty much in every single game since. And I'm glad they did. It's such a good improvement. If I can describe Sonic Adventure 2 in a nutshell, it's one step forward, one step back. For everything right it does, there's at least like one or two things it does wrong. And well, actually I exaggerate a bit. For every two things it does right, it does one thing wrong. You know, and we'll get to them as we get to them. Especially considering that this is one of those games that has been very divisive in terms of the gaming community, in terms of the Sonic community. Some people think it's the greatest thing ever. Some people think it's an exceptional example of Sonic being terrible. I don't agree with the latter, but that's just me. Now, before we continue with that train of thought, that rocket is the sole determinator of whether or not you get an A rank on this level. You can play the level perfectly, never die, and just be outright good at it.
Yes!
If you don't reach the top of that rocket, which I've seen be done by like the last 0.1 of a second, you will not get an A rank. That is how ridiculous getting an A rank on these stages are.
Just made it.
It's passing Sonic, we'll take it. At any rate, I've been a Nazi. This is Sonic Adventure 2, and I'll catch you later.